Four names: Precious, Galaletsang, Gina, Erica, Kaufman. Each decade is a different ode to self. And the woman that, decided to bestow these names upon me. So Precious, ode to a younger version of myself. Galaletsang was my 20s, and now I'm in my 30s, and I'm Gina. I was indoctrinated, actually, into Christianity, and then later on, by choice, decided to practice as a Christian. So that's the thought that Christian had, which is judgment. They should have minded their business and drank some water. They should have actually prayed for me. Let's start there. Actually pray for me. Don't sit here and ask me what I was doing in my spare time when I decided to have my son. Pray for me. Be like, Lord, bless her in her marriage. Bless her with, a sound mind, with better decision-making skills. Actually, bless us with a conversation to communicate so that we're both not offended by that command.
Hello and welcome to Life Lately, the podcast where we dive and explore real conversations on parenthood, relationships, and life's challenges. My name is Nozipho, and I cannot wait to go on this journey with you where I sit with my guests and we dive into these real conversations. So if this is your community where you love having authentic conversations, do not go anywhere. Today we have the amazing Galaletsang Kaufman. I hope I said her name right. She's a thespian. She's an actress. She's a mother. Today we're going to talk everything mental health. We're going to talk about her journey and also just being in a blended family. So stay tuned. Today in my beautiful lounge.
Hello.
I love my lounge.
I love this lounge. It's so comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I took off my shoes. I was
See.
I feel right at home.
Before I can even say, you can feel comfortable, make yourself at home. My sister Nje had her shoes off.
I did.
Today we have the beautiful Galaletsang.
Depending on who you ask.
Okay.
Depending on the era, the decade. So I have four names: Precious, Galaletsang, Gina, Erica, Kaufman. Each decade is a different ode to self. And the woman that, decided to bestow these names upon me. So Precious, ode to a younger version of myself. Galaletsang was my 20s, and now I'm in my 30s, and I'm Gina.
Oh, hello, Gina.
Hey, girl. Hey, Gina. Hey, girl. Hey.
Amazing.
I do. Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank you so
thespian
much.
in the house.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, heavy hitters, heavyweights.
Big words.
Big words, yes. I do regard myself as a thespian. Thank you so much. Yeah.
It is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is
fitting that we had to have you here and have a conversation.
Let us talk. Let's chat.
Talk.
Mental Health Awareness Month. What does that mean to you?
For me, it means that I steer away from anything that troubles my mind. I let go and surrender of things that I cannot control. Yeah. It means that I find time for myself.
Yes.
Definitely, I have to make time for myself. It is something that I am consciously doing. Okay. I'm intentional about that.
I love
even my kids, I'm just like, no. Like when I pray, usually the twins, they'll sleep early and then they'll wake up around midnight. So they'll be on the iPads. I know it's a bad habit, but come 3 o'clock when I'm praying, they're up, these ones, on my bed with the iPads. And they'll watch me pray. They're like, Mommy, you're crying. Until they're like, okay, never mind. This one is in her zone, in her time. So I want my time, whether it's prayer time, I'm in my very spiritual phase. Beautiful. I know that you are right now too.
I've actually never not been.
Okay.
I've never not been.
What does that mean to you?
Yeah. Born and raised in a very, very Christian home. I was indoctrinated, actually, into Christianity, and then later on, by choice, decided to practice as a Christian, because we don't speak about that, to say, are you a Christian because you believe and that's your faith, or is it because this is how you were brought up? A lot of people are Christians but walking a blind faith. They don't know actually where they stand. It's not conscious, it's not intentional. So when I was younger, Lutheran, that was the denomination. And then as I got older, my mom started changing, my grandmother, we started exploring more, modern day Christianity, Abazelwani.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting. So I've never not been spiritual. I've always been taught how to speak to the stars, the moon, the elements. I remember my grandmother growing up. She was a Lutheran pastor, but we'd always sit outside at night and say,
What does that mean?
Let's nyanga.
Okay, the moon.
Nyanga, yes, the moon. See, I learned a new word, nyanga. And we just sit there, and I got to know, how to wait differently, how to wait with intention, how to wait when it's not my season, when the moon is not full, when the moon is new, how to be at half harvest, like just things that I think English definitely whitewashes, but a part of my culture always watered into me was being very aware of my spirit. Like, where am I right now on earth? What am I doing? Who am I walking with? What's happening around me? And how's that influencing my walk and my journey? So I've never not been.
You are so seasoned, like proper. I'm so impressed.
Really?
Like, I'm looking at you now. So my producer Kath and I, we were I'm outing her now.
Let's chat.
We went on a voice call, and I was like, "There's no way she's born in 1995," because your pictures, you look like you over the age of 30. But when I'm meeting you in person, my God, you have a baby face. You literally.
It's the makeup.
You think?
And it's also like these days, I think I'm trying too hard to like make it intentional because I've never been allowed to play a character above 30. And I'm actually in my 30s now. I'm actually not even 30. I'm 31, 32. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm very excited about that. No, not geez at all. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for 50, to be honest.
Me too.
Right?
I love growing up.
I love
Such an
aging.
instinct. I love aging.
I love aging.
I love aging.
I thought I was like the only one. I thought I was
No,
crazy.
I do. I'm loving it. I'm loving this era. Like,
the older I become, the more beautiful it is to exist, to sit in stillness, in self, in having fermented, man, I love it. I love
the word you just used now, fermented conversation. Like conversations that are just real.
Bevuti. We are using vutiwe. You can hear when something's a bit wet behind the ears. You're like,
no, I'm not taking that BS.
I'm not hearing it. Yeah. So the baby face it's actually not doing well for me.
No, I love it.
I want to play like mom.
Whose mom do you want to play?
Like I'm 5 months postpartum. I'm someone's mom. How does 30 look? Let's chat about that.
Okay, so 30 doesn't look like this, okay?
So funny parts, the last prominent role that I played before I decided to go into my hiatus, my sabbatical, my hibernation, whatever people decide to call it. Before I decided, let me go and create to be with child, to go and bear, because it was very intentional.
You planned?
Yes, I planned.
Oh, beautiful.
100, I had to.
What brought that on?
Longing.
Christian, because I know that you grew up in Christianity, and we are taught that children and sex before marriage.
Because of wedlock.
Yeah.
I got questions for God too. Like that one time I prayed and he was busy with Russia and Congo, and I got a question for the guy upstairs. Like, we need to sit down and have a fat chat.
Maybe put a gun on God's head. He
my
had to
father.
pay attention.
Okay, so my father's deceased. My mom's an addict. And I'm pretty much alone, especially in Gauteng because I came here for work. And I was longing for companionship, and my partner works very hard.
Okay.
And he's hardly home because he's always traveling, he's always working. And I was just looking for someone to be there with me all the time, someone to mirror me, somebody who I could embed myself in, because I was very proud of my growth and the person I was becoming. And I was like, I feel bad that no one else is going to be able to like experience this wealth of knowledge and how I am. So why not create someone that looks like me and just be like, world, enjoy. Yeah.
But again, as a Christian, someone would say, that goes against God's will and God's beliefs.
So does the thought that Christian had, which is judgment. They should have minded their business and drank some water. They should have actually prayed for me.
No,
let's start there. Like, actually pray for me. Don't sit here and ask me what I was doing in my spare time when I decided to have my son. Like, pray for me. Be like, Lord, bless her in her marriage. Bless her with, a sound mind, with better decision-making skills. Actually, bless us with a conversation to communicate so that we're both not offended by that comment.
I know.
Because when I say what I say, you're going to feel like you ain't the Christian that you are.
Thou shalt not judge.
I don't think going to church makes you a Christian as much as sitting in a garage makes you a car.
Oh, wow. I was not ready for that one.
Just say it.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And then your partner was also ready for the growth in your relationship, having this new person that comes into your life. Was it easy trying to conceive, by the way?
I was actually on birth control for like 5 years. Before that, I was on an IUD. And then when my IUD expired, I was on Mirena actually. After 5 years, it expires. I was just like, let me just let my body come back to normal and my hormones, regulate so that I don't screw myself up, because we don't know what's in all this stuff and the side effects, etc. I was just like, let me come back to myself. And when I did, in the beginning, it took a while because like we were actively,
trying.
But he's like, 2025 is so heavy on the spirit. You gotta be politically correct. It's like, what did she say? Is she talking about coitus? Yeah, we're talking about, okay, so like, yeah, we're actively trying. And it just wasn't happening for me. And then this one day I was actually in an aisle of a certain pharmaceutical, place. And there was a lady who was like to me, hey man, try this. And after 2 months, I literally tried the medication, certain supplements, and everything literally was like flash
off the counter meds.
It's off the counter, but it's the one there that's right. The one there.
Recommend. Guys, recommend something to someone. Maybe someone's trying for the longest time.
Better. Okay,
maybe another day. Maybe you can do a Q&A on your Instagram.
I think I DM them so they can go buy it themselves. For the sake of the pharmaceutical company, I don't want to endorse anything. Right. I want anybody to go home and try it.
Well, I know. With me, when I was trying with the twins, I tried everything everyone was telling me. So I would be like, I'm sure someone's like at home on some agasho to eat.
And how was your spirit?
Sure, I went through. It was a roller
That's what
coaster.
happened. Yeah. Even with me. So I was in a very tormenting relationship with one of my siblings, and the minute that my brother and I decided to part ways, because I was living my life and he was living his, we're very codependent before because of the situation we grew up in, and when he left and I was also just trying to figure myself out, immediately my body let go of everything it was harboring. All the responsibility I had, all the burdens I carried, the unforgiveness, the grudges, the anger, the tension. Then my body was able to catch, then my body was ready for the blessings. And I don't think the universe wasn't listening to the prayer I was praying. I think that the universe wasn't willing to trust me with that seed, because what was I going to do? And that's what I pray for, is a discernment and the ability to be able to handle the blessing. I don't want to pour into my child all this, nonsense that's going on around me.
But you don't believe in reconciliation with him? Or...
Oh, no, we're cool.
Okay.
I just actually got off the phone with him now on my way here. No, we're cool. We're great. We're great.
Right.
It's just growing up and growing pains. You have to let go. Mele ukuthi sikhathi umbilical cord. And that's the one thing we don't speak about. We are our own masters of demise and enablers.
My friend, even sibling rivalry or sibling conflict is so difficult. I think it's the worst that you can go through.
Oh my gosh.
It is so hard. I mean, after my dad passed, I have something similar that I went through with my eldest brother. And him and I were very close, like proper close. But, when you speak about that, I know exactly what it feels like.
And it's painful.
It's so painful.
It's very painful.
Someone thinks you're out there living your best life. Meanwhile, you're just like, you're the person I want to call and tell something to.
Yeah, all the time.
I can't.
And I wish you could support me.
Yeah.
I wish you could also lean on me the way that, I've come through for you.
Okay, now reverse.
Yeah.
Gina, no, let's take Precious.
Precious.
I love Precious.
Precious, love Precious.
I actually love
girl.
Precious. What a sweet girl.
What a sweet girl. Oh my gosh. R.I.P. Precious.
Wow.
R.I.P. Precious.
Today, Nyamvusa Precious. I love
It's
Precious.
Okay. The character can come through. Talk to her. It's okay, yes.
We just delve into mental health. And firstly, before you answer that, I need you to take me back to growing up in the Northwest. Just quickly, I know that you were a rebellious kid. I know, but you won't say when you come and see this well put together, somebody's mother.
Yes.
know, how
What
was it
is
like?
rebellion?
You called yourself that.
Yes, but also when I say I was rebellious, I think to the people around me, not to other people.
Of course.
You know, I think my mom has a privilege to be like, oh, you're a rebellious child, or my grandmother. Other people, I don't think they could call me rebellious. I mean, sometimes I can be a little bit naughty. I like going against my own comfort zone. You know, I like challenging myself. I like putting myself in spaces that require me to grow. You know, I think there's a season for the caterpillar. And in order to become a butterfly, you have to allow yourself to be in a cocoon, to be uncomfortable, to sit in stillness. So I think my caterpillar phase, which was precious, had a lot to do with like me being the bookworm, you know, having my chichiboya stage, rolling on the floor, you know, dancing, being a kid, figuring out how it is to just have your feet on the ground, you know, and that's what the caterpillar does, you know, find your feet, and I had a lot of fun, you know, I read a lot of books. I played outside. I played Chicago Nix Moya, di Tini, Pati, Mrabaraba, di Keto, Umkusha. Like, it was amazing. I played with the boys, Nagitala Topo, Ali. It was very, very fun. It was enriching because I grew up, you know, Emakaya. I'm not a Joburg person. And for me, I learned so much of humility, how to be with people, how to be part of a community, things money can't buy. And I'm very grateful to my upbringing. And the rebellion came once I started asking questions about the structure of how I was brought up. Then I was seen as a rebel. You know, why can't we go outside at this time? Why can't we speak to this neighbor? Where does God come from? When you start asking questions where elders are like, wow, why lenga nikabanga? You know, that was where the rebellion came from. Yeah, definitely. I wasn't the detention child. Did I go to? Yeah, I did go to detention.
We need to call your school. I'm not too sure.
I did go to detention. I went to detention for the same reasons. In class, I'd be very challenging, asking too many questions. I mean, in my high school, they read Macbeth in grade 10. I read Macbeth in like 6th grade.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have friends in primary school. So I was always reading, you know, Emily Bronte, Charlotte, you know, shout out Mrs. Nell. She was my English teacher at Robertson Primary. She made me fall in love with literature and reading and, you know, just novels, you know, and she was a hopeless romantic. So I was reading Wuthering Heights in like 4th grade. It was wild. I was like, Heathcliff. You know, Lady Macbething, and I was like,
you can tell with your dialogue, with your
my vocabulary.
Your vocabulary is amazing.
Thank you. I try.
It's insane.
You know, the other day,
you of my son. He's also very well read, and he'll be like,
I used to like.
That's not how you say it.
That's really not how you say it. And I used to like be such a prick that when guests used to come over, I used to read a thesaurus, and I used to find ways to deliberately just find people to challenge me, and they didn't. So eventually I was like, I'm leaving this place. So that was the rebellion, you know. 2 days ago, I said to my brother, he's limiting my vocabulary because I said to him, oh, Junior, thank you so much for coming on this drive with me. He's like, shout outs. I'm like, what's shout out? What's shout outs? Like, I'm trying to be in like fruitful conversations, man.
No, that doesn't work.
I'm trying to do my MBA. How am I going to write my thesis around these people?
Shout out.
Shout out. Imagine like shout out to my lecturer. Like, shout out.
I got you.
I got you.
I know. They're like, yeah, I got you.
You know, I can't even speak slang, Nozi.
No, me, I keep asking, what does that mean?
It's so embarrassing. Like, I don't abbreviate when I type. I'd like.
You have a 5-month-old that's going to be shouting out to you just now.
I don't think I'll learn. I think I'll accept him the way he is, but I don't think I changed myself to fit in with how people require to be comfortable. I'm not that person. Like,
don't have to.
No. And even with my son, like I look at him and I know he's going to say things I won't understand. I'll be curious. Maybe I'll come to him if his dad says something to me that he learns. I'll be like, what does that mean? You know, but I don't think like, I'll be like, I have to learn. Because like, I don't even know, like there's like 12 rappers coming out of bed.
Every day.
Like little something. It's like a black hole spitting these kids out. Like, where do they come from? Oh man, but
it's talent. So we are in our trying to conceive era. We take this for 2 months and then boom, miracle. We get a boy.
We get a human. We get a zygote,
Okay.
actually. I get like a small little cell.
Okay.
I really wasn't big on gender. I just wanted a healthy baby.
Okay.
I just wanted a healthy baby. I didn't care whether it was a boy, if it was twins, if it was 8, if it was 5. I would have taken all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually want a big family. Ideally, I'd like 7 children. I grew up, I have 6 brothers. I love big families. I love blended families. I love a loud home. So my son was the first. And he came at a time where I really needed it.
Yeah.
Where I really, really needed it. I had given up on a lot.
God knows.
I had given up on a lot. And this is after years and years of also being confused about my purpose. And I think part and parcel of being a woman and bearing really showed me my capabilities. Like, I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
So it kind of like motivated me, made me stronger, made me powerful. It made me look forward to things.
You can do anything. You've carried a whole human.
I know.
You've carried a whole human being.
Anything, yeah, but anything. I want to I'm so jealous. The other day, my partner's brother did 2 backflips, and I was like, I hate him.
Only backflips?
I want to do a backflip. Why can't I do a backflip? That's my inner child being like, I want to do a backflip.
We can if you want to. I promise you, if you're committed, you can.
The knees in the 30 are not the same.
Oh, no.
In your 30s, the knees are not the same. I'm like, why are my knees like this?
Are the hips coming?
I mean, the yoga really helps,
I wanted to ask about that. I've seen,
sorry.
and you didn't invite me. I saw you had people come for your classes, and I'm like...
So I have a class on the 24th of May. I don't know when this episode is coming out.
On Monday.
Okay. Oh, Monday. Okay, cool. Perfect. So on Saturday, 24th of May, I'll be at Nuru House and I'll be hosting Somatic Saturdays, which is meditation and yoga. And I'm very excited. Being a wellness facilitator has also helped me anchor in the things I was always passionate about as a child. I told you I've never not been spiritual.
Yeah.
So I was always also a very curious child. You grow up in this village and then you go to a Model C school where you hear things like star sign.
Yeah.
And the kids are doing sleepovers. And then you go visit your friend and then they, having a full moon ritual or whatever it is. And you're trying to figure out what's going on. Who am I? And the more you know, the more you learn. And then you watch Charmed and then Sabrina. And then, yeah, exactly, right?
10 years younger than me. I can't believe you know Charmed.
What do you mean I know Phoebe? No. Oh my God, girl, come through, babes.
It's my thing.
Like, I know Charmed. I had to. That was my thing. And that's like with me. I've always also been around women older than me. I'm around a lot of women that are older than me.
You're an old soul.
My life, I had to fight. Oh, my life. That's the thing about old souls. It's like, why are we back here again? It's like, clearly I'm here to fix something. And, shout out to reincarnation because then at least...
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I believe that whatever I believe in right now is going to happen.
Okay.
So I believe in different things simultaneously. I believe that alternate universes and worlds and perceptions can coexist, You can love someone and also hate them at the same time. Hate that you love them.
Yeah.
You can be proud of someone and then also be disappointed in them at the same time, Be sad and happy about something at the same time. Like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm here with you.
Yeah.
But I'm so sad that I actually didn't wear shoes or whatever, Like, I don't know, just an example. I'm not sad about the shoes. I'm actually very comfortable. These are very comfortable. They're very cute.
We've had so many conversations
feminine.
right now that we haven't finished.
We
haven't finished the mental health question.
Okay.
What brought that on? We haven't finished. Okay.
What brought on the mental health with me?
The awareness. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Wait. We haven't finished your growing up with the big family, growing up there. We haven't finished the somatics this weekend.
No, don't worry. I got you. Actually, I'm like someone that always keeps the conversation rounded. So I'll keep coming back to everything and referencing it. Just so it's easier for you. To the point, yeah, The mental health awareness started with the spirituality.
Okay.
I was very confused. I had so many questions and no answers. You're at home, bad things are happening. Oh, Punkulunkulu, Wangan sees. and that's the beginning of asking an elder, where do I go? And they're like, pray. And you're like, but that's not the answer. Like, give me a practical solution. And Unkulunkulu is going to answer today. He's going to answer in 3 days, in a month. When is it going to be? Yeah. And when he does answer, is it exact? Is somebody... So the mental health really began with the questions. And that's where it begins, because the intrusive thoughts come from the questions. Am I good enough? The doubt, the fear. So that's where the mental health began, with the spirituality and the questions. Because if it wasn't for the spirituality,
there wouldn't be any awareness right now.
Yeah, because then you just be in this world whereby you're going by without boifomudimu, which is fear of the Lord, not being accountable to anyone. Yeah, people that don't have ethics and morals governing them have such an easier life.
Do you think?
Yeah.
When you have no fear of God, do you think you have
You have no conscience.
True.
So what eats you up? You do as you please.
And the funny thing is, you are able to pick it up. You're able to pick up and be like, no, you know what? This person literally doesn't fear God. That's why.
Because they don't respect the God in you.
My friend.
They don't bow to you. Mina ngihlonipha wonke umuntu. Like, even if I walk past you at the robots, even if you're a stranger, ngihlonipha wonke umuntu. I bow down to the God in you and I recognize it. Because when all else fails, who are you and no one is watching?
Yeah.
Because your office is going to close at 4, at 5, at 6. And emcimbini sonke sobe se move as chop amatayisi lapho sithi potato. And the women are here. Are you a woman of substance? Can you hold a conversation? Or are you just rubbish? Yeah, they are rubbish. Yeah, and we can polish rubbish. We can do well with rubbish. We can recycle rubbish. Rubbish can be repurposed. Let's not look down on rubbish, but people really need to look into the fact that, are you a pleasant person to be around? I've also had moments in my life where I wasn't a pleasant person to be around. And I can acknowledge that, to say, okay, cool, what are the habits that I need to retire and acquire, to be the woman that I want to be the mother that my son's going to be proud of, So the mental health comes with fighting against the things that hold me back, the things that don't illuminate the woman that I am. Yeah.
I think for me, when somebody is that conscious about wanting to get to a certain place in their lives, or doing an introspection and saying, actually, I'm not happy with this person, because my thing, I always say this many times to people, that someone can have a different perspective of you, of who Gina is, and then someone else will, oh my God, she's such a darling, and I'll be like, but I didn't meet her. I didn't meet a darling that day.
Please believe them. Please.
I know. So it's the thing of saying we meet people differently. We meet people come in our lives differently. We meet people in a different way, at different seasons, and sometimes we're in a season of actually reflecting and being like, you know what, today I want to be conscious and be like, I'm gonna get in that elevator and I'm gonna greet.
Yeah, because I found you here. That's also another thing. I found you here. Because other people are like, oh, why didn't you greet? But you walked in and somebody had already taken up space.
Why don't you do better?
Exactly.
Do better.
Very, very true. So for me, it's also about holding space, There's days where people have been horrible to me. Yeah. And I just think to myself, I don't even know what they're going through. So I try to be kind as much as I can, because I never know how someone's day is going. But in the same breath, I know I've also had horrible days where I've been mean to people. Maybe I'm late.
Yeah.
Maybe it's David Order Day.
We all know those.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, why?
Now you're just like, I understand what my parents meant.
Yes, when they said I don't have money. Like, I'm going to play, but ang namali. V360 ang namali. Ayu kimali. Whatever it is that you were asking for, ayu kimali,
I think sometime last year, one of my sons was asking for a haircut, and I said to him, we're going to wait for month end. And this is he was 16 then. He's actually 18 now. And I said to him, at the age of 16, I said, you're going to have to wait for month end, my boy. And he says, what happens month end? And I said, Jesus.
What does he mean?
Kuholwa nge-month end.
Manje mele nguhambise sokundinwele kuphi.
So my mom was just like, you know what? Sometimes you go through these seasons in life to teach your children this is how life is.
But also to be humble.
To be humble.
To sit in stillness with yourself, to do nothing, to listen. Because upizila uyazula every day unemali diamond walk. Yes, how are you going to listen with all the noise?
Do you contribute to make a difference in church, in your community?
Do I tithe?
Do you tithe?
No, I don't tithe. I don't tithe. What?
Why not?
I just choose. I grew up in the church. I told you.
Yeah, and you're supposed to.
No. So, I go to church. I love church. I give back at church differently. I'd rather help with the annual Christmas play. I'd rather help the youth kids. I'd rather help Sunday school. The money that I decide to give back, I give back to organizations. Okay. I mean, if they have a course happening where they're like, we're doing a soup drive, I'll definitely take some veggies from the garden, from the farm, give them some. If they say we're collecting clothes, they're doing a pet run, I'll buy stuff, whatever the case is. But tithing, I would rather take the money that I have and pay for someone to go to school. I would rather do that. I would rather pay for someone to go to school. I would rather ukuthi ungitshele ukuthi anginamali ngiyevasithi ngikusize. Because esontweni by 80 bathayidayo. But in our community by 80 bacala.
Yeah, true. Hey, you can back up everything.
I'm not even. I mean, like, each to their own. Each to their own. Not everybody has the time. Not everybody has the platform. Not everybody has the resources to give back what you can. If not money, then time, because that's the greatest currency.
I love conversations with you. They're so fermented.
I mean, I'm trying. I'm really trying. Yes.
I love smart people.
Okay, so Precious was the childhood. Galaletsang, you were dedicated to my 20s. What a rock star. What a driven woman. She literally decided, you know what? This is what I want and this is how I'm going to get it. And she was a go-getter. An ode to her, an ode to the woman that birthed my son. Because Galaletsang actually allowed Gina to come into place. She had to die in order for Gina to come into place. And it's not easy for you to kill a version of yourself to become someone else, because we are perceptions of ourselves. That's why when someone attacks your character, so I had to surrender and say, that woman ain't here no more. Because everything I thought I knew about myself, I didn't.
You didn't.
I didn't, and I had to learn again. So she was such a bullet, such a bullet. Now this era, Gina, a mother, a creator, creating so much actually, entrepreneurship, wellness. I started a business recently, also called Therapy & Co. that has a lot to do with like self-care. The wellness facilitation and moderation. I'm a Reiki coach. I have 2 master's degrees in Reiki and like energy healing. I'm an academic. I've been saying I'm going to do my master's. I keep postponing to start my master's. And then I had a baby. And then
2026 is the year.
Nice to do my master's.
Yeah.
No,
I will hold you accountable. I'll call you.
2026, I'll do it.
I'll
do it. I'm going to do it. Next year, I'm going to do it.
You better do it.
I'm going to do it. And farming, I really love farming. Working with my hands.
So I can understand.
Yeah, I love working with my hands. I love gardening. When I wake up in the morning, I pray frequencies, make some tea, go outside, prune my roses, my hedges, take a walk in the garden, get some veggies, make a soup, make whatever I feel like eating, pray. It's just all about being grateful to everything and everyone that has led me here. The water that nourishes me, the conversations that pour into me, Yeah.
What is your typical routine in the morning before we close up? Your typical routine in a day. What does your day look like? For you to say, what? When you go to bed? I have a fulfilled day. I had a good day today.
I don't have a routine. I think there are things that are like my to-do list.
Okay.
I'm a Gemini. So I have this personality that's like very scattered.
Okay.
And I try to be as spontaneous as possible. I get easily bored.
Okay.
I get easily bored. That's why I'm always trying new things, doing a lot of things at once.
Smart people are like that.
No, I think part and parcel of also being self-aware is knowing how not to self-sabotage. So I know if I'm in a place for too long, I'm going to start doing nonsense because I'm bored. I'm going to start doing nonsense. Then I'm like, okay, you know what, let's move. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So to go to sleep at night knowing that there's nothing I feel like I missed out on that day. I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental health.
Mental health.
Yeah. I'm very purpose driven, and if I'm here and I'm doing what I need to do in order to stand before my maker and feel like I did what I had to do, and I mean,
no regrets.
yeah, and that's who Gina is, and that's why this area is dedicated to Gina. Gina is also my grandmother. I was named after her. So each name came from a different woman in my life. So also I'm going to be embodying different people. She's hectic.
Is she still here?
No, she's passed on. It's my great-grandmother.
Okay.
My grandmother now, she's still here.
Okay.
But she's also passing on, and I'm mourning her while she's alive. So that when she passes on, the grief is easier. Because that's how dementia works. You mourn the person while they're alive, the person you knew, and then you mourn the person when the actual death happens. Because now she's no longer the woman we knew. Yeah, so grief is happening twice for me in this lifetime. But it's so beautiful because...
Great life.
And she's so self-aware. You know, the other day we were laughing and she was like, yo, it's the illness. It's the illness.
Just blame it on the illness.
She blames everything on the illness. And I laugh with her and I'm like, she's done so well in knowing where to go back to when she's no longer who she thinks she is. Because experiences shift us from our perceptions of self. Right now she has this thing that she can't control. But in the pockets of happiness, in who she was indoctrinated as, she'll remember, oh, this is Salome. Salome likes reading the Bible. When she's sitting, she'll say, you know, those small things where it's like, oh, you're still there.
Yeah, I need to find me again.
You're still there. Yeah, you know, the smell of morojo. She's very, her senses are very heightened. You know, being outside and there's a young breeze around 8 o'clock, or there's no stars outside and she might not see well when reading, but if she's gazing out towards the sky, she can tell that the moon is not here right now. You know, so when all else is said and done, who are you when no one is watching? Back to that conversation, you know, and she's still there. And when she's not, then we just have to remind her, because I can only ever hope that life gives me enough grace to also surround me with people that can help me find myself when I'm weak, when I'm not myself. You know, that my tribe can say, you know, this is the respect that we're going to give her, you know, hold space for her. You know, in my language, there's no forgiveness.
What do you mean in your language there's no forgiveness?
There's no forgiveness.
Why?
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they don't say forgive me, they say intshwarele. Intshwarele, go tshwara is to hold. Okay. Meaning hold space for me. Okay. Hold space for me when I'm not myself, when I'm out of character, when I'm someone else. So go tshwara, because English makes it so, like, to forgive is, I forgive you. I know. But to hold space is to not even expect the apology. It's to know that you don't even have to utter it. I'm here. I know you are not you. I know you're fighting with something greater than you right now, greater than both of us. So I only ever hope that you make it out. So I hold space for you. Go to I forgive you. In inverted commas, I hold space for you. Wow. Yeah. So that's how
you've taught me 2 things today.
What are the 2 things today?
The first one was, you learned the moon. You learned the moon.
Yes, the moon. The moon, my friend. The sun, my friend, Ramasedi Gamuleboga, every morning. Ramasedi has taught me that despite how I feel, he's going to come around. If I'm sad and I keep the curtains closed, Ramasedi in winter at 4:45, he's going to rise. Yeah. And at 5:45, he's going to go to sleep. Yeah. So whether I'm in the mood or not, Ramasedi is going to come out. And when I decide, Ramasedi is going to give me power and charge me, because vitamin D will go into my veins and into my spine and invade it in my DNA. I will wake up and there goes dopamine. And I'm like, Ramasedi, thank you. And these are the things we're not taught, because then you're like, okay, cool, let me go for a drink, or let me go have sex, or no, dopamine, a run, you know, a walk, you know, sunshine, you know, a song, you know. So those are the things that when I came to Joburg, I don't know about other people, I was so focused on the English language that I forgot the things that I was taught. And they're such simple teachings that have a lot to do with mental health. Ramasedi urutile hore, babes, vuga ukezwange. Because ngizazovuga. Yeah. Every morning, you know. You gotta get up. You know, and the moon teaches us stillness. You know, it teaches us stillness. It teaches us how to be gentle, how to be kind. Yeah, and how to be here. Because everybody knew 8 o'clock was time for generations. You know, 6 o'clock was time for like polishing shoes, you know, mom's back from work, we're cooking. But we're a family, we are talking in conversation, you know. So these 2 elements, both of them, so very different, you know, roles. So does water, you know. It charges you, it helps you swim, it bathes you, it helps things grow. You know, it's such a beautiful thing. Fire, you know, it destroys, builds, replenishes, polishes, you know.
We need to have a part 2.
Earth.
I feel like we did not.
We did not.
We definitely
We did
gonna
not
have a part
want
2 with Gina. I need Gina back.
You need to I come back. I come back. We have
It's
back
gonna
chats.
come back. I
We
wish
can't
we had enough
talk.
time. I wish we have enough. We had enough time.
We do have time. We have so much time. I love time. I love time. We do have time. We have time because we'll make time. We have time because we'll make. I come back. Let me see when I come back. What? Okay, so I'm here. It's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
I'd like to come back in August for Women's Month.
Okay, I want to talk about motherhood though.
Women's.
Yes.
Okay, mothers. Okay. Let's talk about motherhood. 5 seconds.
No.
Okay.
When you
Okay.
come back.
Cool. Okay, that's perfect.
When you come back.
Okay, because I'm like
You're gonna be a seasoned mom by then, so I know you're gonna be going.
I feel like I've
'cause
always
you still,
been
no,
a
no,
mother.
No, my friend, you haven't.
You know why? So I have 6 brothers. I've
Okay,
always
fine.
raised people, things. Even now with my son, like angifili. Yes, angifili.
You'll feel.
I can give birth 10 times. It's not even painful. Angifili. Like I don't even think I will. You know?
Oh, you mean the birth?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
When you've survived so much in life, you have less room for complaining. You just know you have to get things done.
Yeah.
You just know you have to get things done.
No, motherhood, we're not complaining. I think it's just recognizing the sacrifices.
Oh no, I get it. The mental load.
Yeah.
All the loads. Mara angifili ukuthi. Because vele ingane yakho
I wanted that.
And I wanted them, you know.
Blessed.
I'm so blessed.
I wouldn't do it any other way. I wouldn't ask God for anything else. So
Let me think. Wait, I'm thinking. I want to be honest with you. I'm an honest person. Would I ask God for something else? No. Would I ask God for something else? No, not above my son. Not above my son. But after my son, I think not even things like tangible things. I think fruits of the spirit, you know, stillness, peace, serenity. I won't pray for strength. I don't want that. No. Don't put me in a strongest story list. No, please, I'm tired. I'm not doing it. But
Not today,
not
Lord.
today. But fruits of the spirit. I'll definitely pray for fruits of the spirit. Yeah.
Lots-
What language do you pray in? Sorry, before
Me, I pray in both languages. I pray in isiZulu, and you know when the Holy Spirit takes over, and then English comes in, you know, and then you just, because I don't know how to rebuke in isiZulu, okay, so I just rebuke and declare everything, you know. I think for me it's always easier because I also want my children to understand what I'm saying and when I'm praying. Because once I start praying, like they'll be like, and then they'll see once again the Holy Spirit takes over, they'll see, okay, we don't disturb mom. But for the babies, they're always just like, Mom, are you crying? They just like, Mom, are you crying?
I love crying. What do you think about crying? I love that you cry in front of your children.
I have to.
That's such a spiritual, beautiful thing.
Vulnerability for me is just very important because I need them to see me in my weakness and in my strength.
You know what I
And
think
also,
about crying?
what do you think about crying?
I think crying is the body letting go of things you've always held on. And if you don't cry about it, it's going to come out somewhere.
Yeah.
It's going to come out somewhere. So I'm glad that you can do that. That's so beautiful. What do your kids say?
No, the babies are just like, Mom, are you crying? And then one will want to, wipe my tears. One will want to hug me. One will want to, they're short. One will hug my leg, come over me. But once they see that I'm still praying and I don't get interrupted, then they'll just leave me and let me be. And then the one twin, I'm very close to the one twin. She's a mommy's baby. And then she'll just kneel down and pray with me. So now they've also learned prayer through these moments where I'm vulnerable and teach them that. And I never did that with the big boys. So I always feel so guilty.
Why?
I don't know. I think I always took for granted that they had a chapel at school. And I wasn't also in this awareness era. I've always believed in God. I was raised in the church and they went to church but I was not, intentional about it. We would pray on Sundays. We would read the Bible. And there are days where they remind me, no, but Mom, we used to read the Bible and this and that. I know I gave them that, but I wasn't this intentional in my era of saying, I'm in my Jesus era. I'm in my wanting to know who I am in Christ.
I started praying with my son. He can't say anything. He just looks at me. But he knows when you're praying because then he smiles.
Oh. Message to your son. I didn't even get your son's name. Stop.
Selim.
What does it mean?
Jimumu. Selimo means season. It's an oxymoron. It also means era, year, depending on the derivative.
Okay.
So ke seretho ithakazelo mariga fedile selemo sa rena se fitlhile peo e tlhoge. So winter is out, summer is here, let our harvest, come into fruition. I love him so much.
Nice message to him before we wrap up.
You, Selim, I don't even know. Like, where do I start? I love you so much, Selimo. I love you so much. I love you so much. One day you're going to see this, and I just want you to know that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm not afraid to say I love you. And everybody else in your life should remind you how much they love you.
Thank you, guys. That's all the time we have today with Gina. She's just amazing, and I wish we could carry on and speak to her. Asaklet, you can see, but I will have her back for Women's Month, definitely, because I feel like we just touched a little bit on everything. We didn't finish.
We didn't.
So please do like this conversation, this episode. Please subscribe and do put your comments down below. Thank you for coming, Gina.
Thank you for having me.